All right, we are live. I am so excited that you're joining me for the Female Entrepreneur Musician Show. This is where we talk about making great music, connecting with your audience, and growing your business. And today I want to talk about the fan discovery journey. And what I mean by that is how people discover you that don't know anything about your music, and then how they kind of move along a path of like, well, I've heard of you, and then I start to engage a little bit, and then I start to maybe listen to a song, and then I start to really like, what you're doing, and then I kind of watch more of what you're doing and read some of your posts on social media, and then I start telling a few friends about you because I really like your music, and then maybe I buy some of your music, I subscribe to your YouTube channel, and I'm constantly keeping up with what you're doing. Then maybe I go to a live show. This is the engagement continuum, kind of the path or journey that musicians see their fans go along, from not knowing them at all to becoming raving fans, telling other people, becoming super fans and really supporting your career. But before we get into that, first of all, I need to grab a cough drop because I have been suffering from a cold and I realized I forgot to put one in my mouth. So I'm going to do that. And then, there you go. The reason I was thinking about this this fan discovery journey thing is because I was recently setting up a series of my own Facebook ads. And I was thinking about how I kind of think about the journey of a fan when I'm setting up my ads and how they kind of layer together. And this is the strategy that I use when I explain to musicians how to do Facebook ads. And I've been thinking a lot about doing a, small workshop, nothing like long and complicated, but a workshop that would explain to you guys this strategy that I use for developing fans through using Facebook ads, and it can be done super inexpensively. There's just several different ads that you kind of layer and retarget and make sure that you're capturing everybody all along the journey. So since I'm talking about this today, I did want to mention, if you're interested in learning more about using Facebook ads and my exact strategy of what I use to get more fans and engagement and turn them into super fans, then I would love for you to go over to femmusician.com/Facebook ads. So that's F as in female, E as in entrepreneur, musician.com/Facebook ads, and just sign up on that form there. All it is right now is a waiting list to find out how many people might be interested in this topic. And then once I get enough people, I'm going to go ahead and create a training for this. So, if you want to raise your hand and say, yes, I'm super interested in learning about Facebook ads to be used for musicians to develop more fans and, kind of a continuous fan building. There we go. We're back. All right. Always interesting on Facebook Live. So I want to talk about the fan discovery journey. And I want you to think about it like stair steps leading from the ground, and you're at the top. And so they're at the bottom. They don't know anything about you. They don't even know you're up there. They don't know you exist. And then they start climbing and they start kind of seeing a little glimpse of you and hearing a little glimpse of you. And then they climb further up and they get to know more and more about you. And maybe they can hear your music from there, but they don't exactly know much about you as a person. And but they like what they hear, so they want to climb more stairs up. And they get to the top, and that is when they become huge fans of your music. And then they want to tell all their other friends to climb the stairs to discover you as well. So think about that as the journey as like stairs climbing up to the top. So obviously the easiest way and the way that you can kind of elevator people up to the top is to have your fans introduce their friends to people. Because, as you know, if your friend says, oh, I love this, coffee shop, or I love this restaurant. You know, you're probably just going to go try it. Maybe you'll do a little bit of research, but you're going to trust your friend and you're going to at least check it out just because they gave you the recommendation. So that's one reason I love house concerts, because it allows friends to invite other friends over and introduce them to an artist, and you've already got this foot in the door. Like, they're already 2/3 of the way up the staircase when they're being introduced by a friend. So that is obviously going to be the best way, and I would always recommend, you know, when you're doing newsletters or posts or whatever, you know, always use a call to action of like, if you love this music, like, tell a friend. I would so appreciate it. You know, I'd be so thankful. You know, if you love this video that I just did, share it with friends. I would really appreciate it. So that would be the easiest way to get people up the staircase, and it doesn't cost you any money, and it, you know, they've already ascended so far when they've gone through a friend. But say you don't, you know, you run out of friends. You've gotten all of the people that you think you can get through friends. Then what the next thing you want to think of is how, you know, where are these people that might like your music? So first, obviously, you know, you're not going to be trying to convert people into fans that aren't even music lovers at all, right? Because that would be hard. You have to start with, first of all, like, this is why you should love music, and then this is why you should love this kind of music, and then this is why you should love my music. So that is a complicated journey, and you don't even want to get involved in that, because that will take way too long. It'll take too much convincing. So what we want to do is start with people a little bit up the staircase. So those people are going to be people that like the genre of music that you're in. So say you're in Americana, you know, then you're going to be looking for people that already like Americana. You're going to show up in places where there are people that like Americana music. You know, obviously in Facebook, there's a lot of tagging that Facebook does of people that, you know, clearly like Americana. You know, they go to Americana festivals or whatever. But the next best thing after that, and the more specialized, and the place that I like to start, is similar artists. So if you are in the Americana genre and, you know, you think your music might sound a little bit like, let's say, maybe the band Perry or Emmylou Harris or somebody like that. So you want to be targeting people that already like those artists, because if they like those artists, they're going to be more likely to like your music. So that would be the next stair step up, is you're going to be targeting the people that like similar artists. And I know some of you say, well, there's nobody similar to me. I am my own thing. I'm totally unique. There's somebody out there that's similar to you. No matter how strange your genre might be, if you're, you know, Celtic opera metal or, you know, just something crazy like that, there's somebody out there that's doing it. If there isn't, then you should probably stop doing that, because competition is a good thing. It shows that there's a market out there for what you have. So make sure that you figure out who those similar artists are. And when you go out to these people that like these similar artists, it's going to help bring their guard down, because if they see something from someone they don't know, they're not going to be, you know, very likely to read or listen to it. But if they see something with a name they recognize, like if you like Emmylou Harris, then you really might like this next song. You know, that is going to help them be like, oh, there's some familiarity there. Yeah, I really do. Like, you know, whenever you can get them to raise their hand and say like, yeah, I really like that. That's me, identify themselves, then that is going to bring their guard down about anything that you're saying or trying to get them to listen to. So that is how you're going to want to get their guard down, so they're not feeling like, oh, this person's trying to pitch me, there's an ad in front of me, I can tell it's an ad, I'm not going to pay attention. If you had a picture that reminded them of something they recognize, or some copy that reminds them of something they recognize, that is going to help bring their guard down. So like I said, other bands or artists similar to you. And you're going to want to do your research, because you want to be able to speak the language that they would understand. For example, You want to be able to know the names of songs by these other artists that are similar to you. And you probably already know this most of the time because you probably like these artists as well because your music is in that style and you tend toward that. So you might not already know, what these songs are, or what kind of festivals that they already play at, or, things that they do on stage that make them recognizable. If you can speak to those and then compare yourself to them, or say, you know, I loved when the band Perry, did this in their video, and that's what inspired me to write this song or something. That will help really draw them in and be like, oh, well, maybe I will like this because I did love that video, that they did. So you want to do your research. You want to know the names of songs. You want to watch videos. You want to know things about their live shows. And then you want to relate those things to what you do. So research is a big one. And so, like, for example, okay, you cannot expect to go out there, because I know a lot of people want to be like, I want to use Facebook ads to sell my music. I am here to tell you that that's probably not going to happen. It's very hard to take somebody from a place of being completely cold or completely at the bottom of the staircase and then, yell down to them, hey, want to buy my music? I think you'll like it. Like, they don't know anything about it. They have no reason to even want to investigate it. So you have to move them quite a bit up the staircase before they're even going to be thinking about investing any money in you. So what we're really doing here is trying to get them to take a sample, just like when we're at not Starbucks, well, sometimes Starbucks has it, but I'm thinking more about like Costco or Trader Joe's, when you walk in there and they've got the sample lady or the sample guy, and they have a bunch of little samples out there, and you taste them and you go, wow, that's really good. And of course, they've got a case of the thing that you tasted right there, really easy to grab. And that's what I want you to do at this stage. When you've found people that like similar artists and you've identified some songs or language that they recognize that you can speak to in your ads, then you're going to want to encourage them that if you like this, if you love this song by X band, then I know you're going to love this song and I want to give it to you for free. And you want to get them to sample your music. And that's going to be the first touch point where they get connected to you by putting their email address in. I'm very big on using a freemium to get the email address of people before you give away the free song. And then you're going to be connecting with them through email, and you're going to start bringing them slowly up the staircase. So another way that you can get people into your world, like if you can't necessarily get them to download the song, is you can get them to like your page on Facebook. And I know some people think that getting likes is overrated or not important nowadays, but really, in my world, getting likes is important because that tethers them to you in a way that Facebook ads can use. So when you have fans, you can target the people that are your fans. If they haven't raised their hand and said that they like you and they want to click on the like button and be a part of your fandom in some little tiny way by liking your Facebook page, then Facebook can't find them. But if once they do that thing, then Facebook can say, okay, they're a part of this group, people that have liked your page. And that is so awesome because you can easily target them. And I definitely put a lot of content out there that I boost to the people that like my page because I know they've liked me enough to click a button. It seems silly, but nowadays clicking a button is like a big deal. There's so many things that you can do online to actually stop for a second in the news feed and click a button. That's actually quite a vote of confidence. So once they like you, so if say you haven't gotten them on your email list, but at least you've gotten them to like your page, and I do some specific ads to get people to do that, then the next thing you're going to want to do is engage with them through things like video. Because when you're on video, you immediately establish this rapport. And you're being your authentic self, and you have the opportunity to show your musical ability and show them what your music, really get them into what you're doing and maybe even commenting on your videos. And so that is where we take the people that have already shown some interest by liking our page and getting them to watch our video. Now I personally would not take that video and start sending it out to people that like similar bands. You could try that, and that's what testing is all about in Facebook ads. But for me, I like letting the people make the incremental steps. Instead of trying to pull them up 3 steps at a time, I think it's better to, this incremental step is that they liked your page, and then they watched your video, and then maybe you can try to get them to join your email list. Sometimes you're able to get them to join the email list from, directly from liking similar bands, and you can try that and test. It's all about testing and what works for you and your audience. So, but trying to pull them up several stair steps at a time is hard. So I like to get them doing one at a time. So the next thing you would want them to do, like I said, is to get on your email list and at least visit your website. Because another thing that Facebook ads can do is once you visit a website, it can pixel you and it knows that you were there and it can find you again. So then we can send an ad to all the people that visited our website and didn't join our email list. And all these ads I'm talking about right now are called retargeting. And you can have retargeting all along the way. So if somebody walked up 5 steps and they didn't make it to step number 6 and you don't know why, then we try to keep getting them to at least move up to step number 6. Because once they move up to step number 6, we try to serve them something that will get them to move to step number 7. And if they don't, again, we can retarget them to try again to remind them, oh, don't forget, we've got this cool thing right up here at step number 7. All you have to do is do this one little thing. And because people get busy, distracted, and so that's what retargeting is all about, and it's powerful, but it can only work if you use the things that Facebook ad allows you to, put this little hook in them. I like to think of it that way, it's not a big hook, it's just a tiny little, it's like a chip, that you can put into something to be able to track them, right? It's a tiny little chip, and we tracked them and they were at step 6. And we know where they are, and then until they move to step 7, then we've tracked them at step 7. We know exactly where they are. So the next thing you can do once they've ascended a bunch of these steps is you can get them to purchase your music. And the way you can do that is offer them like a special thing, like, because you're a new fan, I want to give you this special bundle, or I want to give you a special discount. That is something that's going to get them to take action, because you need to make it only available for a little bit of time, and only to them, make them feel special because they've ascended to this particular stair step in the journey. And that is when selling the music can actually happen. So I just want to recap with all of these, this journey, this discovery journey that your fans go on. First, you're not going to try to target anybody that hasn't raised their hand that they love music, they're a music fan. You're going to start by thinking about people in a similar genre or in your genre, then people that like similar artists and how you can reach those people. And there's a lot of ways to reach those. The Facebook ads is just one way. You could do, you could partner with a similar band and, cross-pollinate each other's fans. You could advertise in a place that the people that like those other bands would be. So there's other things you can do, but I love Facebook ads because you can track everything that happens along the way and know exactly what step people are at. So once they get wind of you, they have some idea that you're there, and they're looking up the stairs to find you at the top and thinking they might want to start ascending. That's when you get them to take little incremental steps, like your page, watch a video, go to your website, join your email list. And then if they're not doing those things along the way for whatever reason, you retarget them to try to give them a little nudge up the steps. And then finally, you give them an incentive to purchase your music. And that is the fan discovery journey. And there's so much more too. Once they've gotten that high and they've purchased your music, Then you can get them to come to shows. You can get them to, host a house concert. You can get them to fund your crowdfunding campaign. Like the stairs can just keep getting higher and higher and higher. The more longevity that your career has. But we want to at least get them into, maybe a landing, halfway up where they feel like you've corralled them and they are your fans and they know you and you know them. And that is the fan discovery journey. So I'm so glad that you went on this journey with me, and I hope I made it clear about how this stepping process works and how Facebook ads can help with that. So if you're interested in learning about Facebook ads, I'm putting together a program that's going to be super easy, low cost, not a whole bunch of commitment on your part. You're just going to learn this particular strategy. And so if you're interested in getting on the waiting list for that, because I haven't quite decided when I'm going to do it yet, but it's going to be soon, and I want to gauge how many people are interested, go to FEM77.com/Facebook ads and stick your email address in there so I know that you're raising your hand and saying, yes, I would love to learn about Facebook ads. So I hope you have an amazing day. I've loved hanging out with you. I hope you learned a ton today. And if you've got any questions or comments, you can always leave them on this video, or you can always send them to Bree, BREE, at femmusician.com. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll talk to you next time on the Female Entrepreneur Musician Show.